Hey, and welcome to day number 1 of our 30-day challenge as we start to make this transition to a whole food, plant-based lifestyle change, not necessarily a diet, but a lifestyle change, because this is a lifestyle. So one of the things that we're going to do today, me particularly, I'm going to step on the scale and get my weight. And I'm also dealing with type 2 diabetes, so I will also check my blood sugar levels to see where I'm at so that we can use this as a baseline, so that where we can go back and look, this is where we started at on day 1, and by the end of day 30, we can compare where we're at. So if you're dealing with high blood pressure or anything like that, check your blood, get your blood pressure checked as well, and start documenting these numbers. Any other types of ailments or illnesses that require any testing, also go ahead and document that stuff so that you can have a baseline to check. If you recently went to a doctor and they gave you some labs, you can use that, and then at the end of the 30 days, you can go back and get the new lab work to see if any of the changes are made. I'm confident that if you make the changes, you will see the results. I've already lost about 10 pounds already within the last 40 days. My blood sugars have come down from the upper 300s, and we're going to check that today, and you'll be able to see what my numbers are as well. And, so we're going to stay on track. I'm going to start walking. I'm going to start, as I mentioned in the earlier video, share data and science and research with each of you as well. So I think we might as well just go ahead and do the weigh-in. Throughout the day, in each of these updates, I will share something, some research of some sort that I've read, so that, again, my goal is at the end of 30 days, we're going to be a lot more knowledgeable than we were when we started on day number 1. So let's go ahead and do the blood sugar. So I have some glucose test strips, and basically what happens is I take this lancet. It's like a needle. If I take this off, you'll see a little needle here. I take this off and pull it back and stick my finger. It will pierce it a little bit, and some blood will come out. And then I will take this glucose meter and the strip, and I will stick it inside. And then I will get a portion of this blood, and then it will give me a reading of my glucose level. Should be under 100 is the ideal number. And right now, as you can see, 203. Yesterday, it was under 200. I think it was like 197. So it's still hovering around. This is my blood sugar levels from after I woke up. So I'm just getting up. And of course, this number should be under 100, 80 to 100. Or some say 60 to 80 is a normal blood sugar, but definitely under 100. So I still have a ways to go, but I'm happy because I've seen the results of just changing over to a new way of eating. So from the upper 300s, I don't have any itchy feelings or anything like that. And a lot of the numbness have started to regress and revert. My toes don't hurt. And so it's getting better. So before I go do my weigh-in, matter of fact, let's go. Well, let me go read this. I picked this magazine up, 101 Simple Ways to Eat Healthy. $13 for a magazine. Can you believe that? I mean, it's ridiculous how much these magazines are costing. But this tip number 7, Simple Ways to Eat Healthy. Number 7 said, weigh yourself daily. I want you to read a part of that. Seems obvious. Who cares? It really works. According to 2 major and widely respected studies, people on weight loss programs who weighed themselves every day lost significantly more weight than those who stepped on the scale less frequently or not at all. And those who'd already lost the weight kept it off far longer and more reliably. Who knows exactly why performing this particular habit seems to pan out so well? Perhaps just enforcing this small discipline day in and day out, no matter what you ate or drank the day before, is enough to keep us on the straight and narrow. So while I've been on it over the last 30 days, I found that to be true. When I weighed myself every day, and if that scale went up half a pound or a pound, I was more apt to remind myself not to consume this or not to eat that because I need to get my weight back down to what it was the day before. Or I want to reach my goal and I need that scale to continue to go down. So by doing it every day, it kept me in check. It became more of a game to me. So I know a lot of weight loss folks say don't weigh yourself every day, but I've seen it been beneficial for me. I can see how some folks will get discouraged, but it lit a fire up under my butt. So with that said, let's go on over here and get this scale and weigh ourselves. And if you need a scale, order one on Amazon. Order one, go pick one up from Bed Bath & Beyond or Walmart. You can get one. I think it's going to definitely make a difference in your life as you make this transition. So let's go weigh ourselves. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and step on the scale, get this thing to zero out. Okay, so I'm gonna set this down for just a second. Alrighty, so we are at 234 on day number 1. Alrighty, so I just did the weigh-in and I am at 234 pounds. That's where I'll start. 30 days from now, we'll see where I end up at. So make sure you document yours. I want to read this. This is from a book that I picked up at Barnes & Noble's called Eat to Beat Disease: The New Science of How Your Body Can Heal Itself. Again, as I told you, there's hope. I've seen my own blood sugars come down. I just want to read a quick excerpt. Let's see here. Despite all of the success, the sobering fact is that the rates of new diseases are skyrocketing. The biggest health threats for people worldwide are the non-communicable diseases, which include cancer, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, obesity, and neurodegenerative conditions. We each know someone in our lives who have suffered from or succumbed to one of these diseases. According to the World Health Organization, cardiovascular disease killed 17.7 million people in 2015, cancer 8.8 million, and diabetes 1.8 million. Even with remarkable treatment breakthroughs and FDA approvals, treatment of disease alone is not a sustainable solution for non-communicable diseases, in part because of the stratospheric cost of new drugs. So, but this one statement here that he says, drug treatments alone cannot keep us healthy. Remember, drugs don't fix the underlying issue. And I'm going to jump to another part here. If this is from a doctor, this is Dr. William Lee, MD, medical doctor. If your goal is to extend the number of healthy years you have ahead, your food choices can tip the odds in your favor. By boosting your defense systems and keeping them in good shape, you will have a better shot at beating back disease and extending not just the length, but also the quality of your life. Quality is going to be the most important thing. The decisions you make on food every day throughout your lifetime offer perfect opportunities for you to stay healthy while enjoying life. Just like taking the extra step of locking the doors before we go to bed at night, or checking to be sure the stove is off before we leave the house, taking deliberate preventive measures using our diet is just plain common sense. Combined with regular exercise, good quality sleep, stress management, and strong social bonds, your diet can help you realize your full health potential. So this is real, man. I mean, we got to get this right. Is it okay to go down and eat a bunch of popcorn that's loaded up with butter? If you're going to eat the popcorn, get rid of the butter. Not that if you're gonna, is it all right to go down and eat a big old thing of ice cream? Maybe not a good idea, but can you make your own healthy version of ice cream? Let's just start with the small little changes. My daughter makes a ice cream for us practically every night. She freezes up the bananas in the freezer. and then they stay in there for about 8 hours. Then she takes them out, put them in a Vitamix blender, and then she pours maybe like a 1/3 cup of fresh almond milk, or even cashew milk, or sometimes soy milk, and she puts a little cinnamon in there, and she puts I need to find the proper pronunciation of this word, cacao powder. Puts 2-3 tablespoons of that in there, and then she blends that thing up. And then when she serves it, it looks just like ice cream, and it tastes like ice cream. And the beauty is, it's all healthy. It doesn't have any dairy. It doesn't have all that extra fat. Doesn't have all that nonsense, all that sugar, unnatural processed sugar. And it's a healthier alternative. So we can hack our diets and hack the foods that we eat and have some phenomenal results with our diet. I don't want to go out with a bang and live the last 20 years of my life with my feet chopped off, or my toes missing, or my fingers missing, or losing my eyesight. You know what I mean? It's when we can fix it. That's the important. Because we can reverse it. So let's make a bond and make a commitment for the next 30 days. Let's try our best to stay on track. I will share what I eat for the day, and again, I'm going to document everything. Alrighty, so for breakfast today, I'm going to make a simple cereal full of nuts, whole grain cereal full of that had lots of seeds and heart healthy items and nutrition. So I got this. I need to look up the proper pronunciation for this word. I guess it's muesli. It's a type of whole grain cold cereal, and I'm gonna be using that. And in fact, what's on the inside of this is whole grain wheat, dates, sunflower seeds, whole grain rye, barley, whole grain oats, almonds, flaxseed, and walnuts. So very hearty, healthy meal. But I'm gonna put in my own flax seeds, and they say you should get the whole seeds and grind it up yourself. I did buy some, and the food processor I had did not chop up and grind the seeds, so I'm gonna have to buy another one. So I put about a tablespoon and a half of this flax seed. It's just grounded up already, so it's probably not as potent as the whole seeds grinded up yourself. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of chia seeds, and that's what these are here. A tablespoon, and I'm just loading it up. This is stuff that we should be taking in daily, just to get all the nutrients that I need for my body to build up a super immune system. I saw Dr. Furman doing this on a YouTube video. This is hemp seeds, and I'll make another video where we talk about each of these individually, give a breakdown of the health benefits to it. So what I did also, a lot of folks complain that the cereals and stuff are not sweet enough. So what I generally do, and that was a tablespoon and a half of hemp seed that I put in here. And so what I generally do, I take a banana. I generally take a whole banana, and I get a fork and I mash it, and keep mashing it and mashing it and smashing it until it turns into like a liquid type form. So that I would normally use to sweeten my oatmeal. I would put that in here. But this time what I did, I took about 4 chunks of mango pieces, chunks of mangoes, and half of a banana, and I mixed that up into a mixture, and it created this mixture. So I'm gonna put about the equivalent probably of 2 tablespoons of that in here, so I can get this will make it sweet for me, and I get the benefits of, well, maybe 3. You know what I'm saying? This will help me with my sweetness. And then I'll take the cereal, I'll pour that on in, and then I'll get me some wild blueberries. I know I need to make sure I stay on track and get off to a good start for the day. Take these wild blueberries. I picked these up frozen at Whole Foods. And I'm very generous with the berries. I don't hold back. And so this is what I have. And so now I'm gonna take this almond milk. Sometimes I make my own almond milk. It's expensive because you get a lot of almonds and then you blend it down in some good clean water and squeeze it out through a nut sack. And so I mix this all up. And then that is my breakfast for the day. And I only check my blood sugars once a day because I know now I'm comfortable to know that my stuff is going down and I'm not eating all crazy. And you should monitor yours a few times a day just to make sure you're on track, especially if you're eating other foods unrelated to a plant-based whole food diet. And so now, this is what I have. This good old bowl of cold cereal. And so normally, being that the berries are frozen, I would let it set for about 10, 15 minutes and then come back. But I'm starving. And I'm gonna go ahead and test it out, see how the sweetness is. And I let it sit for a few minutes, it helps soften up some of the oats and whatnot. Sweet enough for me. And I get the health nutrient from the benefits of the banana and the mango. And I can't go drinking all of this up, eating it all up. But I'll store this and save it. And each morning, I'll use it on my cereal. So, it's a simple meal. Now you can do this with oatmeal as well. So, when you make your bowl of oatmeal, dump in your seeds, dump in the hemp seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, mix it up. Pour in your oatmeal, mix it up, dump in your blueberries, mix it up, and you're in business. So that's it. Just wanted to share my breakfast for today. Nothing fancy, but I have all the stuff I need to give my body a fighting chance. Alrighty, so it's nighttime. It's about 10 o'clock tonight. I'm still on day number 1. Today was a pretty successful day. For lunch, I made this kale and white bean stew, which was actually pretty good. It was one of Dr. Foreman's recipes from his Eat to Live Quick and Easy cookbook. That inside of that meal, there was put a bunch of kale in there. I cut up an onion, a medium-sized onion, chopped that up into small pieces, some garlic cloves, some beans, some white beans, and I ran out of, let's see here, it had some diced tomatoes, I had that inside, and some veggie broth. So that was actually good. So primarily beans and kale. In that mix, I try and get beans in every single day, along with some greens. I didn't have a salad today. I would normally eat that. Generally for lunch, I would generally have a salad for lunch and a salad for dinner. A salad included with my dinner, but I did not do that today. But I did go out to a Mexican restaurant, an authentic Mexican restaurant, and I ate some beans with corn tortilla wraps, pico de gallo, and the salsa sauce that normally comes with the chips, which you dip it in. I use that on top of my beans inside the wraps. So that filled me up pretty good. I ate about 4 wraps with the beans stuffed inside with some red peppers, green peppers, a bunch of onions and mushrooms. So that was really, really good. That fills me up, quite honestly. So that was it. Now a friend of mine, we stopped by the bookstore. She went in and bought a cookie and gave it to me, and I just couldn't resist. So I did slip that cookie in. That was around 9 p.m. I hate that I did that so late in the night because it's probably going to affect my blood sugars in the morning. Generally, when I sneak out and get a cookie, I would generally do that earlier in the day so I had time to burn through my system as I walk around doing the regular routine stuff. So I'm going to include the recipe that I had. There'll be a link underneath this video to a blog post where this video will be posted, and I'll put down the recipe that I followed from that cookbook. I think you'll get some satisfaction out of it. It wasn't the best tasting soup or stew because I've had some others that were way better, but it does the job. So now I got a big old batch that'll probably get me through 3 or 4 days of eating. So what I don't eat, I'll eat a lot of that tomorrow. What's left over, I'll freeze it. So that way I'll have a go-to source for a quick meal or bite when I'm getting some cravings. I find that when I crave, it's best just to grab something out of the refrigerator that's already made, warm it up a little bit, and eat it, and that will keep me good. Because all of the stuff that I mentioned in this recipe is all healthy. There was no salt added to it, no oils added to it or anything like that. So I can eat it, and it's not a bad thing. So that's it. So day number 1 successful. I'm looking forward to getting my weigh in tomorrow. I hope you had a good day. Please share in the comments what you did today, how your first day was, and let's keep it moving.